السلام عليكم يا شباب يا أصحاب، أهلا وسهلا في قناتي حيث أعلم اللغة العربية واللغة الإنجليزية. واليوم أتكلم معكم عن اللغة اليابانية. كوكو دي wa gengo to samazuma no kuri no bunka wo shukai shite imasu. Ima watashi wa nihongo wo 1ヶ月 勉強しています。そしてそれを皆さんにもシェアしたいと思います。أنا أعرف شوية عربية وأنا أعرف شوية يابانية، وأريد اليوم أن أتكلم معكم عن اللغة اليابانية. أي لغة أصعب؟ I get asked this question a lot. Which language is more difficult, Arabic or Japanese? Having learned them both as a second language, as a native English speaker, I'm now in a position to kind of compare the two. But first, it's a special day today. It's a special day, I'll tell you why. Duolingo, everybody, is releasing their Arabic course for English speakers. It's been 7 years. Duolingo's been around for about 7 years now. It's been a long time. I remember when it was first coming out, and I've had an account with them for years now. I've been learning Japanese on Duolingo, and finally, they've got their Arabic course, which is out today, and there's a link in my description where you can click that link and you can sign up and start the Arabic course. What Duolingo do, if you don't know, they are actually the biggest, most popular language learning platform. They've got 300 million users, and the mission is basically to make education accessible to everybody. So they want to make language learning free, and it is free. It's a free app. It doesn't charge you anything. You can upgrade to a pro version where there's no ads and you can use it offline, but the app is free. They basically gamified language learning. So the biggest struggle with learning a language is keeping up with the motivation and keeping the consistency. And consistency is key in learning a language. And what Duolingo have done, they've made it fun, they've made it easy. The Arabic language app is now out, and you can learn Arabic today as a native English speaker on Duolingo, which is very exciting. So I'm very grateful to them for sponsoring this video, and you can click the link in my description. Which language is more difficult, Arabic or Japanese? Well, I've studied them both. I've only been studying Japanese for a few weeks now. Feels like longer, but a few weeks. And yeah, I'm starting to really get a feel for the language. Now, when I first started learning Japanese, my thoughts were this. How the did I ever learn Arabic? Because Arabic is so much harder. Arabic is more difficult. Arabic is the more difficult language. I wouldn't say Japanese is easy, but compared to Arabic, Japanese is kind of easy. I think you have to study Arabic as a non-native speaker to really grasp and get a feel for how complicated, how difficult, how vast this language is. There are so many more and so many better quality resources available for Japanese than there are for Arabic. And that's a really big headwind. If you're starting to begin to learn Arabic and you're struggling to find a good quality, concise, consistent course which actually teaches you what you want to know, if you're struggling with that, then good luck. The most available, the most widely available resource for learning Arabic is a resource which will teach you MSA Arabic. Now, here's the catch with this. Nobody speaks MSA Arabic. So there are loads of good resources for MSA Arabic, which is what I happen to have learned, but nobody speaks MSA Arabic. Now, that might seem strange to you. Well, wait, how can they not speak it? Why do they not speak it? Well, the way that the language has evolved over the years, every country has its own spoken dialect, which is very, very, very different to what you would hear in the media, in the news, in the newspaper, on some television. So most people can kind of understand this MSA, this dialect, but it's not the spoken language. So you can be great at MSA, but if you go and speak it, you might sound a bit strange and people might look at you a bit funny. Now, we have different accents across the world. You know, like if you're from the United States, even with the United States, you got a different accent. You've got like the New York, Boston accent. And then you got like the southern accent, kind of southern twang like this. All right, sweetheart, how's it going? And then you've got like the California accent, like Valley. Oh my God. And then it's a bit more like open and nasally. And then you come across to the United Kingdom and you've got people who speak like me, which is kind of posh, I guess. So people tell me on YouTube. And then you go to London, you've got a bit of a Cockney accent. You'll be like, all right, geezer, what's up? Yeah, all right, giz a ciggy. Come and have a cuppa with me down the local caff. If you go across to Northern Ireland, like Belfast, you get like a Northern Irish noise sound, not noise, but it's like a nice sound. They might say things like in, out, and then go down to Southern Ireland, and Dublin's actually quite nice. It's a much softer accent. So Southern, like Republic of Ireland, not actually part of the United Kingdom, but we're still friends. Then you go to Birmingham and it's kind of like this. You might say, oh, I don't want to get about anymore. Let's just go and play football. I'm not really bothered about that. Geordie would be like, go on, Rebecca, go down Baker Grove, like kind of speaking like that. Like proper Geordie accent, like Cheryl Cole kind of style. Go down Cornwall, you might grab yourself some fish and chips and a pasty down like Padstow or something, like talk like that if you're from Cornwall, which is right down the southern tip of the United Kingdom. Then you got like the Bristol accent, which is kind of like in the middle. It just kind of speaks a bit weird, like they go ooh 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 a lot. Got a Scottish accent, they just tend to like swear quite a lot. So like if you're from Glasgow, they have like a little bit of a potty mouth, I guess you could say. Like they wouldn't even say potty, they say potty. Like they don't really pronounce the T's very much up in Scotland. So like, I mean, I'm not like an accent specialist or anything, but like if you're from Scotland, you talk a little bit like that. Down in Australia, they might say, "G'day mate, how's it going?" Like in South Africa, it's kind of like Australian accent, but it's like it's a bit more short and sharp. So like South Africa, they kind of talk like this. They kind of stop and start a little bit more. So I gather they might say, how's it in South Africa, in like places like Durban, East London, or Cape Town. They might say things like, how's it? They might have a slightly different variation on how to ask, how are you? But in Arabic, the language, the variation within the language, the dialects is so vastly different that it's literally like a different language. Somebody from Egypt would really struggle in having a coherent conversation with somebody from Kuwait, for example, where they say shlonak, shlona, morak, lots of different kind of niche phrases. So the number of accents that exist within Arabic are just so extreme, and there are so many, it makes learning it really, 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 really difficult and complicated. Now we're comparing Japanese and Arabic here, and of course in Japan there are different regional dialects too. Like I've just done a little bit of research. They have Niigata ben, Amori ben, Okayama ben, and Kansai ben. Ben means accent or dialect, and generally you've got lots of different Nihongo Hogen, which is Japanese accents. And the difference with Japanese and Arabic is that whereas the Japanese accents are very vastly, totally, completely different and barely even understood, barely have any mutual kind of crossover in the Venn diagram, the accents within Japan are subtly different, kind of like the different accents you'd get within the English language, but they are not so different as the Arabic ones. So if you learn classical Japanese, like the Tokyo accent that you would get from like like the BBC equivalent, which is like NHK World, then you learn that and you can be well understood. People do speak it, people do understand it, and the regional accents are not as different to the main core Japanese as they are in, for example, Arabic. So Arabic is just like it's a mishmash. It's like someone's put something in like the cake of Arabic and it's exploded, and it's just, the language has just gone, whoa, it's exploded all over the place. Everyone speaks a slightly different language. It's what happens when you get little pockets in very small kind of tribes and countries over thousands of years evolving in what is mostly been a spoken language. There hasn't really been a lot of written Arabic throughout history, so a lot of it is spoken, and the languages have kind of like migrated off to a slightly different style in every little pocket of the Middle East, which is a huge region spanning all the way from what you got Morocco over in the west, right up to Oman and Yemen, right to the east side. Now the third and final thing I want to talk about comparing Japanese and Arabic is the pronunciation. So I've just taken 3 random phrases. The first one is this one here, konnichiwa. Now I'm sorry, but if you've never learned Japanese in your life and you speak English and you look at these letters and you read it, you go, konnichiwa. You can't really pronounce that wrong. Okay, how about the Arabic equivalent? These both mean good morning. You might read that as sabah al-khair. Sabah al-khair. It's more difficult to pronounce, it's more difficult to write in English letters and to get a correct pronunciation of it. The correct way to pronounce this is sabah al-khair. Sabah al-khair. Sabah al-khair. So konnichiwa, pretty easy to say, right, for an English speaker, there's nothing difficult there, versus sabah al-khair. You've got a sah, which is a different letter. You've got the ha, which is a new letter, different to English, and then kha, which is a new letter, which isn't in English, and the ra, which is like a rolling R. Now the R in Japanese is also quite difficult. It's probably the hardest letter to pronounce in Japanese, but compared with Arabic and Japanese, like this phrase, for example, konnichiwa and sabah al-khair, there's no doubt about it, the Arabic is much more difficult to pronounce. Let's take another example. This sentence here means I am studying Arabic. Watashi wa Arabiya go wo benkyou shitemasu. Now there's not really far wrong you can go if you to read that as an English speaker. Watashi wa Arabiya go wo benkyou shitemasu. It's quite easy. It's not, you do have to practice to get the sounds just right, but compare that with the Arabic. Ana adrus al-lugha al-arabiyya. You've got the gha, you've got the a. These are hard letters to pronounce as a non-native English speaker. You might see that and read it as Ana adrus al-lugha al-arabiyya, which, to be fair, it could be worse. Third example is this one. Gogaku wa benkyou suru no ga tanoshii desu. That's in Japanese. It means I enjoy studying languages. The same in Arabic is Ana uhib an adrus al-lughat. Yeah, al-lughat. So Ana uhib an adrus al-lughat. Again, you've got the ha, you've got the gha, you've got various slightly more difficult letters to pronounce. So the point I'm arguing here is that it's more difficult for a native English speaker to pronounce Arabic than it is for them to pronounce Japanese. Having done both, I can tell you that Arabic is much more difficult to pronounce. There are letters which exist in the Arabic language which are just nothing like the letters which we use in English, the sounds we use in the English language. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to work to get an authentic Japanese accent, you certainly do, and I'm working on that now. But unlike in studying Arabic, where it feels like you can kind of be hitting a brick wall and banging your head against a brick wall when you're trying to learn the a or the ha or the kha or the da or the ta or the gha, a, gha, fa, ka, all these letters. There are lots of difficult letters to pronounce in Arabic, and when you're a beginner, it can be really, really demoralizing and off-putting when you're trying to pronounce these letters and you feel like you're saying them wrong. In Japanese, I just haven't found that. You can pretty much go to a sentence and watashi wa Arabiya go wo benkyou shitemasu. There's nothing really that difficult to say. So pronunciation is definitely easier in Japanese than it is in Arabic. If there's one thing that Arabic is easier for, it's learning the alphabet. There are only 26 letters. Once you've learned them, 28. Just getting used to this, 28. There are 28 letters in the Arabic alphabet, and once you've learned them, it's very easy to actually read and write, to be honest. That's the truth. Japanese has 3 alphabets: hiragana, katakana, and the kanji. Kanji is like the Chinese characters. There are thousands of them, and to read and write Japanese is more difficult, in my opinion, than reading and writing in Arabic. So that is the caveat to this. I've made the case that Arabic is more difficult for my 3 reasons earlier, but in terms of reading and writing, Arabic is actually more straightforward. If you're interested in learning Japanese or Arabic, don't forget to check out the link in my description for the Duolingo app. The Arabic course for English speakers is out today, so check that out. And I hope to see you back here again on my channel very soon.